What's up, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video, and in this one, I want to break down what's happening with Tesla, SPY, Nvidia, the QQQ, and a couple of other tickers. I'm going to break down some big news about the range we're seeing on a Tesla right now. It's some big news involving Elon Musk. Let me just mention that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button. It not only benefits me, it benefits the entire Tesla community as a whole. Anyways, Tesla's been stuck in this range for the past almost 3 days. We have support around this 195 area. Tesla's been holding up above that for almost the entire time. And we have resistance around this very, very low 200s area. We've been going back and forth and back and forth for many days in a row, and we're still waiting to see what Tesla's about to do. So I want to break down more information about this. Just note there's not really much data coming out for today. We just got our 17-week bill auction, which is a little bit, or I would say very close to expectations. But then the 10-year notes auction comes out at 1 p.m., so it's also kind of minor. Not really expecting much for today in terms of data. But I am seeing some headlines coming out, and they're basically saying that Tesla sales in California are falling the most, and this is getting a lot of attention right now. If you actually look at what's going on so far for the first half of 2024, Tesla sales are down 13% in California with 104,000 sales. That's actually below the 120,000 sales we got for the same period in 2023. And they're saying that this has a lot to do with many different factors, from Tesla moving its headquarters, not to mention Elon Musk. So I'm seeing the media kind of painting Musk in a very, very negative light again. I'm seeing this on a lot of different sources out there. Many people are adding to the fact that Musk has been very, very political, and it's really hurting their sales in areas like California. And I'm seeing a lot more talk about that. You even see how in a lot of regions in California, sales are declining. But don't forget that this is not the only factor affecting us. It's not just Elon Musk. It also has to do with interest rates and also other factors like that. So I just want to make that very, very clear that with what's going on right now, at least for Tesla, Musk is also getting a lot of criticism for it. There's been a lot of talk about his political moves and what he's also talking about when it comes to politics. In all honesty, guys, if you look through his Twitter page, it's all just politics, politics, politics. He's very, very outspoken. I respect that. I respect Musk's opinions and his rights to do that. But I just want to say that as a CEO, that does have an effect on Tesla. So I kind of went over this yesterday. Honestly, guys, there is a trade off with having Musk as CEO, right? There's more good than bad, in my opinion, even though, like, yes, many companies like Costco, some German companies do not want to form partnerships with Tesla as a result of Musk's, politics and such. Even though that's the case, it does not necessarily hurt Tesla for the long term. Tesla's going to be completely fine, and with their big developments in AI and Optimus, they're going to be completely fine. But I just want to call this out again because I'm seeing this all over mainstream news. I'm seeing this all over the place. Musk's support of particular candidates is leading to more criticism. He's getting a lot of criticism all over the place. And we're starting to see a lot more retail stores, not to mention other companies in Germany, even like Costco's. They're all coming out and they all have different views as a result of all of this. So it is what it is. We're starting to see some, places trying to boycott Teslas as a result of Musk's views. So it's a little bit negative. And I have to be honest with you. This is part of what happens when you have Elon Musk as CEO, when he's very, very outspoken, very, very political. But honestly, guys, I'm still not worried whatsoever about that. I'm still very confident Tesla will make a big comeback. We're going to see some more sales increasing once interest rates start dropping. We're going to be looking for a lot of growth in the AI sector and the robotaxi. So I think Musk is still doing a great job at developing those other technologies, and he deserves a lot of credit for that. I know he gets lots of criticism for being too political, causing all these issues, hurting sales in California. I'm seeing that all over the place. But don't forget to give him credit that he's still doing a good job at improving Tesla, and he's still going to add a lot more value to shareholders for the long term. So I'm not really scared or phased by that whatsoever. When it comes to other things I just wanted to call out, I also want to mention that right now, Tesla is declining just a little bit. We saw a little pop towards our 50 EMA at just under 204. If we break past 204, we turn bullish. And if we lose 195, I would turn a little bit more concerned for some more bearish momentum. Specifically, 192 is a stronger support. So if that breaks, then yes, we're going to be looking for a bigger decline. But overall, Tesla is still range bound, stuck between the low 200s and around this 195 area. So in my opinion, I think Tesla's just going to continue to shuffle. We've been stuck in just completely range bound, just like SPY for the last hour and a half. And we're not really doing a whole lot. So I anticipate the same thing is just going to happen. Lots of sideways price action. As far as SPY goes, if we were to lose 526, we turn bearish to fill this gap. And if we break past 532, that's where we have our key EMA on the 30 minutes time frame. Break 532 and SPY could start pushing much higher. However, it's not really doing that right now. If you actually zoom into the chart, if you look at, for instance, let's just go to like the 5 minute time frame, we're completely range bound. What do I mean? We pushed a little bit in the morning, and then since then it's just been going back and forth and back and forth. We're going back and forth between 531 and our 50 EMA, the yellow line right here. So it's still range bound, not really doing much. So I'm not really expecting much from SPY until we get a break of one of these directions. Otherwise, it's just very, very sideways. So we're just going to give this a little bit more time. And unfortunately, the QQQ is doing the same thing. We have resistance at 449. We have support at 446. We're going back and forth, back and forth. We're kind of stuck right now. I am seeing a little bit of weakness here as we're kind of struggling near our 50 EMA right here. If we do lose this, we could be declined to about 445. And if that breaks, there'll be a bigger decline. But like I said before, there's no sign of that quite yet. There's no sign of us losing 445, and we're still just range bound, going back and forth and back and forth. Now, other stocks like Nvidia are showing a little bit of weakness, especially amidst some negative news that came out. So, with this weakness that's developing, we're going to be looking at 104 as supports. If that breaks, I could be looking for a little bit of a dip on Nvidia. Nvidia could be declining all the way down to fill its gap. If we lose 104, this would take us all the way down to about 102. We also have resistance around this 107 area to 108. If we break that, I'll be looking for basically the 110 zone. So we're completely stuck going back and forth and back and forth. I do favor downside a little bit more for Nvidia. So we'll just have to wait and see. Uh, but like I said before, we're just completely stuck. So we just have to give this a little bit more time. For other factors out there, I just want to mention that Bitcoin, of all things, is also slowing a little bit. We have resistance around the 56,000 area, and we have this support all the way down here around 55,600, not to mention 55,000 flat. So I think Bitcoin could decline just a little bit more than just continue to consolidate. But look for a little bit of a dip here, which is going to be affecting its counterparts, so other crypto out there. I think this imbalance may drag it down to the lower 55,000s only to bounce again. So it's still kind of stuck within the range, not really doing a whole lot. For stocks like Aapl, I'm going to go back down to Aapl right over here. Aapl is just showing some life. It's actually showing some strength compared to the market. We were range bound, and I called out how we have this wedge forming. So we're getting tighter and tighter and tighter. And we got this very, very nice looking break. We broke from the wedge, got a retest only to bounce. So it's looking more bullish. So I'm going to be looking at 214 as resistance. If we manage to break that, I'll be looking for the gap fill all the way up towards about 218 into the 218 area. If we're bearish, we want to see this basically lose 209. If that fails, we'll be dipping all the way down towards 205. But looking at the chart, we favor upside a little bit more, and this could start to push a little higher. So look at this resistance right here around this 214 zone. If this breaks, we push higher. I think we could try to push a little bit more on Aapl. But overall, like I said, with the market being very choppy, that could kind of drag Aapl a little bit. But I think that there is still more upside potential nonetheless. For the IWM, if we fail to hold above 205, we're going to be coming down to 203 to fill the gap. And we need to hold above 207 to start pushing up higher. Small caps are showing some weakness, which is why there is a risk of some downside on the IWM. Not looking as strong as SPY or even other tickers out there. So I do see a risk of some downside. So just be careful with that. For Coinbase, we're showing some weakness. We rejected off our 50 EMA. If we start declining, I'll be looking for basically 183. And we want to break past 197 to turn back up. So I see some risk of downside if we don't reclaim 190. And I think we could be dipping to the mid 180s. For Amazon, we're looking a little bit more bullish. If we hold above our 50 EMA around 165, this has potential to push all the way up towards 168, if not higher to higher levels. If we lose 164, we'll be dipping all the way down towards 161. This is favoring upside. Looks like it wants to push all the way up towards 168. So I'm liking this setup on Amazon. Meta went all the way up to about 510. I called out about 510 if we broke past 500, but then we got a little rejection, so we're starting to remain range bound. We're testing our 20 EMA at 495. If that doesn't hold, look for 488. And then if we hold this, look for 500 again. So we're just kind of shuffling now. I think that volatility is kind of slowing down a little bit in the markets. Microsoft pushed all the way up to about this 410 area as well, another level we called out. But if it doesn't hold above 410, we could be declining back down towards 404. So watch and see if we retrace to 404 and see if we get a bounce or not. For Google, we basically have this resistance around 163.5. Watch support at 162. If 162 breaks, we'll be dipping back down towards 160. If we break past 163.5, we could try to push higher. So I see a little decline coming towards 162, if not 160, and then we'll see if we get a bounce or not from there. Make sure you watch that support at 162, and we'll see how things go. Anyways, for Tesla, it's just kind of boring, completely range bound, not really doing a whole lot. There's a slight decline in terms of its trend, but uh, we'll see if 195 holds or not. And if we do end up losing that, expect more downside. So we'll just have to see how things go. But with that being said, guys, with the weakness that's kind of like developing here, we'll have to see how well the market holds up. The market's declining just a little bit, but it's not too bad. And most stocks are just kind of range bound, especially Tesla. So we'll see how things go. With that being said, thank you for listening. Have a great day and peace out.